What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today, I mean, a team that has all their cards in their hand finds a silly way to lose a game. The defense didn't play to the standard that it should have played, especially in the first half. Scott Turner, for some reason, did not find a protection call to help Charles Leno in the first half. I mean, this was a sloppy game. This was a very sloppy game. I mean, you talking about they were picking up penalties in the game that wasn't necessary. Terry McLaurin picked up a penalty that basically gets us, that basically takes away a touchdown. We probably would have tied the game and went into overtime. Looking at this game, y'all, and this is just me being honest, it felt like a game we were going to lose. And even with the last minute heroics of Taylor Heinicke, it just felt like a game we were going to lose. I mean, from the onset of the game, the Giants was pouring it on us. And it just seemed like we didn't hear. We heard Jonathan Allen's name like once, but there's so many things that we're missing on this team. Like, I don't understand for the life of me at how when Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne get double teamed, how there's no linebacker filling those gaps, or there's no safety filling those gaps, because it just seems like they just let it happen. This was a very poor outing for a team that needed this win to solidify their playoff position. Now they gotta hope and pray that one, Seattle keeps losing, and two, Detroit loses games in the process. We now need help with the 49ers coming up. We now need help to make the playoffs. And this is why sometimes, like, when I talk about Scott Turner, I always talk about how he's too married to his offense. Like, he doesn't do things that make any sense. Like, remember, don't y'all know how I've complained over and over and over again about Scott shortening up these routes and everything, or finding a way to do shorter routes? The Giants did that. They did that for Daniel Jones. They sat up there and they were doing all types of quick passes. They were doing slants. They were doing wheel routes, comeback. They were doing so much stuff to help Daniel Jones out. But for some reason, Scott couldn't do the same thing. Like I said, Scott is so married to this offense that he doesn't even think for even the slightest of moments to sit up there and call a play that says, hey, you know what? Let's back these corners off, or let's back this pass rush off. I mean, they just don't do it. Then the defense wasn't doing much of anything. Yeah, they got a couple plays where they got the Giants out, but they didn't do enough to stop what they needed to stop. And I don't understand why they were playing so far off of these receivers. These receivers are not as dangerous as people think they are. I mean, the fact that Danny Johnson was playing like 7 yards off of Hodges, it makes no sense. He's playing 7 yards off of Slayton. That made no sense. It just makes no sense. And like I said, a lot of this was them shooting themselves in the foot. Like, why, how does Terry McLaurin get a penalty on a play that is a touchdown. I mean, the playoffs was in their grasp. All they had to do was win. All they had to do was win. And I know some of y'all are going to blame Taylor Heineke, but this was actually not a bad game for him. It really wasn't. The problem was that there was so much time where his clock had to be sped up because of the fact that he was getting so much pressure. Like, the fact that he has to get that much pressure in a game is so crazy. And this goes back to Ron's poor decision making. If you were going to be a run first team, you should have kept Brandon Sheriff. You should have kept Eric Flowers. If you was going to be this run dominant team, Eric Flowers and Brandon Sheriff were the perfect pieces for that. You bring in Carson Wentz. He doesn't pan out. Now, all the talk is going to be about the fact of, well, Taylor lost this game. Are we going to see Carson Wentz? Yeah, we're going to see Carson Wentz in the 49ers game. Then what? Do you think we about to have a quarterback that's not going to be sacked 50 times? This was a terrible game. Terrible. This was bad play. This was players not making plays. This was coaches not adjusting for plays and things like that. Like, it just didn't make any sense. It just didn't. Saquon Barkley started running the ball more. I mean, it got to the point where he started looking like a Tecmo Bowl player because he kept doing the spin move over and over and over again. This team doesn't look like it really wants to be in the playoffs. And not only that, it looks like if they made the playoffs, they would have a first round exit. They had a lot of time to get ready for this game. And to be quite honest, it looked like they weren't even, like they didn't even prepare at all. And it's not like they're sitting there and they were missing a buttload of starters. Because they weren't. Man, this is a sad one, y'all. This is a very sad one. Because now we don't control our playoff destiny anymore. We don't control it anymore. You talking about now we're sitting here and Seattle can still find a way to win. The Lions might leapfrog us because they actually got a game up on us. Every game is going to be a battle. And like I said, we got the 49ers on the horizon. This was, and not any, like we got them coming up. I think we play on Saturday. We got them coming up on Saturday. So we got a short week to get ready for the 49ers, who's playing some of their best football. Even with the backup, actually the third stringer and Brock Purdy in the game. And there's no, and we go to San Francisco. Short week flight to San Francisco to go face Kyle and that running game. Cowboys lock up their playoff spot because we helped them. How good do y'all feel now? How good does Ron feel? How good does everybody feel that we helped the Cowboys lock up their playoff spot? We did that. We assisted with the Cowboys now being in the playoffs. Where do we go from here? I mean, I'm going to be honest. This is one where, to me, I just feel our coaching staff wasn't ready. I feel that the players didn't really seem like they were ready. I don't know if they were tired, if they were cold. I don't know. All I know is that this defense didn't look like the defense that was playing prior to what's going on. And maybe all this talk of, well, if Taylor loses the game, then we should give Carson Wentz one more try. Man, and it just comes off as this is just a Washington type of thing to do. Limp their way to the end of the season. Man, it's just crazy, y'all. It's crazy and it's sad. It's so sad because, I mean, you're talking about the opportunity, the real opportunity to sit up there and like actually do something and do something that's meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Like Taylor did, understand this, people. Taylor did not lose this game. This was not a game where you sit there and you look at Taylor and say he was just making all these mistakes. First off, why did Scott not adjust the blocking scheme? Like, that should have been number one. Number two, why was there no slant patterns going on? Why was there no short passing game? Where was that? Understand, these wide receivers are so good at yak that at some point you got to sit up there and make plays for that. And then what the hell was this thing where you're trying to force Curtis Samuel to football? You see the play is not working. Stop running the play. If the play is not working, stop running it. It doesn't benefit the team when you're running a play that's dying that is dying each and every time. Stop doing it. It's not working in this game. I'm to the point where, I mean, a change is going to have to be made. And I ain't talking about at quarterback. I'm talking about at coach. Because, again, there's no way that, I mean, sometimes, even when you make a mistake, sometimes you have to admit you made a mistake. And that includes the people you hired on your staff. Like I said, you're talking about they had all this time to get ready. And to me, it seemed like the Giants were more ready after getting their asses handed to them by the Philadelphia Eagles the week before. And you telling me we didn't even think of running the same stuff Philadelphia ran. Scott Turner is not that bright, people. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. He's not that bright. And y'all, for some reason, y'all listen to people who keep trying to tell y'all he's this bright guy, and he's not. Because understand, blocking schemes matter too. See, every time most of y'all look at these people who sit up here and they go through film with y'all, only thing they see is, oh, he missed a route. But they don't see the poor blocking that is going on. There was the blocking in the first half of this game on that offensive line was horrible. Absolutely horrible. There were times where Taylor had to step up in the pocket and there was nothing there for him because another player collapsed in on him. Kayvon Thibodeau was almost on every single play. Every single play. This is crazy, y'all. I don't see us beating the 49ers. I mean, I hope I'm wrong in that. I don't see us beating the 49ers, and we needed the Giants game to actually do something. And clearly we didn't do it. We assisted the rival to clinch a playoff berth. And not any rival, the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all tell me what y'all think. What did y'all think of this game? I'm going to start from here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another show where the questions y'all ask in the comments, I'm going to respond to y'all questions on a different show, just because of the fact that I really want to have more fan interaction and everything like that. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all feel that this is a Taylor Heineke screw up game? Do y'all feel that Scott Turner just did a bad job at play calling? Did the players, were the players even ready for this game? Because again, like I said, I'm not going to put the defense, I'm not going to sit here and give the defense a pass, because at the end of the day, they did not seem like they were ready for prime time as well. They did not seem like they were ready to play. They really didn't. And again, there was so many things that happened in this Giants game that made no sense. They were, again, why are you fearing a wide receiver group that is not even that good? Bobby McCain was out of place each and every time when Richie James made a catch. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Let me know how y'all feel. This was a disaster. Now we need all the help in the world to make the playoffs. And I'm concerned that we might not make the playoffs because, again, Detroit is playing very good football. Seattle, they got their bumps in the road. We got to hope and pray that they can help us out enough. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.